Hello, this is Cheryl, and I'm so grateful you're joining me today. Trust that this safe and loving space is exactly where you are meant to be, to ignite your higher self and empower you in this very moment in time. There are no coincidences, so trust the nudges that call to you. As I open, channel, and share today's light filled conversation, take what resonates with you and leave the rest. We are all working to uncover the truths that will serve us on our unique journeys. Each new day brings discovery, and this truth is always empowering, illuminating, and available to us. Now is your moment to deepen your spiritual connection. If it's light, it's right. Hello and welcome. Welcome to today's episode. Today, I want to demystify meditation. I feel like meditation are one of those words that people feel like I can't get there. I can't do that. I don't know how to. And so I'm also going to bring in my teaching days. I am a retired teacher for those of you that know that, or if you don't, now you know. And how I used to, in my third grade days, I've taught from first grade to seventh grade, but in my third grade years, we used to do what's called the 5 Ws. And that was a way of doing research that included all 5 aspects that kind of surrounded a topic. So I chose to do it that way. So the 5 Ws are what, who, why, when, and where. And so meditation, again, working to just lighten meditation for those of you that feel scared by it or feel, I don't know if I'm doing it right. I want to tell you, you're doing it right. There is no rules. And I'm hoping today's episode kind of helps you to say, oh, okay, I can let that go. And we're actually even going to try in the share. I'm going to have a work with a meditation, and I'm going to have an authentic meditation as well with you and see where I kind of move in my meditation before we wrap up. So what is meditation? Well, what is a thing? So what is meditation? I want to say it's the opposite of prayer. Prayer is when we ask. We ask. Meditation is listening. It's receiving. It is not motion that you have to move with. You just sit with it. And I will say too, meditation is it is unique, and there is a true connection that happens. It goes beyond religion. Religion sometimes, I'm sorry, my dog is shaking her collar here. It's beyond religion. It is just a trueness of a connection. Spiritualism, I always say, is between the ears. My religion is my spiritualism, and I say it can beautifully exist. Religion and spiritualism can beautifully coexist together. But for me, my religion and the rules do not support spiritualism for me. So I moved completely into spiritualism and make my church between the ears. I think church is beautiful as well. I love when I do get called to go to church, but I don't need to go to church. My spiritualism is a beautiful place for me to reside, and meditation is a place that can speak to you. It's an opportunity to practice those connections and also to hone your psychic abilities, your intuitiveness. That's a whole nother category that we can talk about. But that intuitiveness and psychic abilities, when we meditate, those really, they do accentuate those aspects of connection. So what does it look like? What does meditation look like? We're still in the what category. You could be sitting. You could be laying down. There is no position that is wrong. Sometimes I'm standing in my meditation. And we'll talk about that as kind of we move forward. It could, you have the lights on, lights off. It could be quiet. You could have music. You could be holding, sometimes I call them spiritual tools, stones, maybe a crucifix, pictures of loved ones, whatever speaks to you. You could have a candle. The smell just makes you feel so beautiful, or maybe it's the light that your eye catches. And speaking of eyes, you can meditate with your eyes open and your eyes closed. Sometimes, because my brain is so busy, sometimes I meditate with my eyes open because I can clear better. I can shut the earth's chatter off better when I have my eyes open. So again, you choose. Again, I always say this so often, I know, but there are no rules, there are no expectations, there's no magic with meditation. So, who are generally the people that meditate? I will say that from my perspective, it's generally females. Certainly, there's a male population too, but the females seem to be able to go there, give themselves permission, acceptable, whatever that is. It seems to be it's more female oriented. Those people who are generally intuitive, that understand their intuitiveness, who seek out peace. Those are generally the people that sit with meditation. And meditation, I will say too, people that truly move to meditation, again, it's not grandiose, but they trust more than curious. When you trust, that's a space to go into in your light, in your meditation, in your receiving, more than curious. But if you're sitting here and you're curious, I'm loving that you're here. So don't move anywhere. Stay with me for my meditation today. Everyone has the ability. Everyone has the ability. Everyone has psychic abilities. Sometimes of varying levels, or a want or a lean into certain awakenings. But everyone has the ability to meditate. And I say, look around your day. Do you get nudges? Do you get gut feelings that kind of happen to you? Maybe not every day, but every once in a while. Um, my husband, he doesn't really understand that he's intuitive, although I tell him that quite often, and we could talk about him all day because he's really a beautiful soul, but he's not completely understanding of the work I do, but he respects it 100%. So I always say, "You got gut feelings. That's psychic abilities," and he's like, "No, it's just a gut." And again, there's no rules and then no judgment. But I just, we just kind of quickly laugh about that. But truly, those are the earmarks of your psychicness or your intuitiveness giving you that nudge. So again, when you're in meditation, those are some places to at least open to your curiosity. Just stay there. Just stay curious. Have fun. And again, if you're receiving something, then you got there. Right? If you're receiving something, then you got there. And in the more that you kind of meditate or you open to meditation, the more that will make sense to you. So this might be an episode that you want to kind of come back to every once in a while to just, again, hear your truths. Because as you're listening to me, your higher self is opening to your communication. So trust what shoots in even when I'm talking. Even when someone else is talking, or you're choosing another spiritual person, or a pastor, or anybody that you give clearance of a deeper opening. Trust what comes into you too, because that is what just resonates with no and or ifs or buts. That's something that could speak to you, and it doesn't have to be big. Sometimes in my readings, I know I'm going a little off, but I'm feeling this segue. Sometimes when I do readings, I feel like these are small pieces that get sent in a reading, and that person takes it and was like, "Holy mackerel, that was amazing that this came through," or whatever that is. And then I'll have people that I say, "This is so so tight and so pigeonholed in its characteristic and in evidence, and it doesn't really seem to get picked up." But again, sometimes it gets picked up later. Sometimes it makes more sense later. So again, those gut feelings and those pieces, that is part of our journey. It's part of how we resonate with truth. So I always say, just hold on to it. Just hold on to it, because spirit is very intelligent. So whatever you receive when you're listening in meditation, I would say open to the trust of it. You have your free will. You can do whatever you want with it. But again, they're so intelligent. They give it the way we are to receive it, to move with it. So this leads me into why we meditate, the reason why we meditate. It's a personal journey. It's a personal journey for those of us that meditate. It can change from day to day. Sometimes I meditate to just find peace. Sometimes I meditate to find answers or seek guidance. Sometimes I meditate because I feel almost I feel like I need to open to what needs to come to me in a deeper fashion. And I sometimes I don't even know why I'm meditating, and sometimes I don't even realize I'm meditating until things kind of pop in. And then I'm like, I guess I was clear for that. I guess all right, let me just lean into that a little bit more. What does that let me digest and see what that was meant to be. And another reasons why we connect is we want to connect with our loved ones, our guides, our angels. And meditation is a beautiful way to make those connections. Be open to those connections. It doesn't, some psychic abilities allow vision or hearing or sensing. Lean into whatever resonates for you. Don't, don't try to think it through. And I say think it through, I say that with more of our human mind and our ego trying to kind of talk us out of things. Just open to what comes. Other reasons why we meditate is we're awakening. We want to understand the light. Light is home, and home is comfort, and home is where our truth and answers are. So when you feel curious or you feel nudge, or that is just an earmark that, maybe this is my time to seek my answers, to open. That is where I will find my peace. That's where love resides. That's where if I have questions or need guidance, I need to validate something, there's a place for me to go. And also meditation gives meaning to your life. It feeds your soul. It feeds your spirit. It gives you and it resonates different with everyone on any given day. It just feels light. And light is always right. It's a comfort, an empowerment, and a peace, even if it's just that little slice of time. And so when I meditate, as I mentioned earlier, sometimes I'm just exhausted. Sometimes I just need peace. I just need a pillow, a metaphorical pillow, and I just sit with the sun. I don't sit to receive truly sometimes because I don't want to give myself expectations. Number one, and number two, I I I don't want things to be work. I just want to find peace. So I am clairvoyant, so I do see pictures. So I will create the image of a sun, and I will just have it just bake on me. I'm actually doing that as I'm saying it too. Just touch every cell in my soul and just resonate with the warmth and the heat, and the love that resides there. And I don't need to go any further. And sometimes when I go into meditation too, sometimes I want a deeper connection with spirit. I don't necessarily need to feel the warmth and light. So I'll sit in dark. I generally sit in my bedroom, and we're gonna talk about when and where next. I sit in my bedroom and I just ask for experience. Give me spirit. And again, when you ask for your light and love, spirit always works very hard to give you. You just have to be open to receive it. But I'll see orbs. I'll see swirling energy. I don't go to define it. I don't go to ask more of it. I just sit in its beauty, and I just sit with gratitude and say thank you. That feels beautiful. I'm not alone, or wherever I am in that space. It's a comfort. And so next I move on to when. When is the best time? When is the time to meditation? Well, you already know, you already hear what I'm going to say, right? No rules. No rules. Don't don't place expectations on yourself. Some people I talk to like the morning. It's their quiet time. It's where the earth chatter is at the lowest for them. It's before the day begins the bustle. Some like the nighttime. I am a more of a nighttime person. I feel like the day is done. Um, that's how that's how my brain works. That's how I find that my humanness will have the opportunity to quiet down. Some are in the middle of the day, the children at school, everyone's at work. I'm just by myself. Sometimes that works for me as well. For those reasons, sometimes the middle of the day is a beautiful day, beautiful time of the day. How long? You name it. It could be 1 minute. It could be up to 30 minutes. It can be longer. I will say 30 minutes is really a great place to reach to. I don't really encourage more than 30 minutes because I feel like sometimes it then becomes work, or your humanness kind of starts to infiltrate more. But again, you have to see and feel what feels best for you. Maybe you like to do 1 hour a week, because that's where I say beautiful. Again, you choose, but it can be as little as 1 minute. 1 to 3 times a week. Again, just a small guideline. Don't instill the rules. Don't instill the expectations. I had a person that says, "Well, I meditate every day at 6:30 p.m." And I said, "Okay." I go, "How's that feel?" "Well, it's good." I write down all my notes, and I said, "How about if you were to meditate at 7?" "No, no, 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 no. It has to be 6:30." And I said, "Why does it have to be 6:30?" Again, just be mindful of no rules. That might be just her pocket of space, and in her thoughts to say, "Nope, I am taking charge, and that is my time." That might feel light and right to her. It might not. It does not feel light and right to me to say at a certain time every single day I must write 3 pages of notes. But maybe to her it does, and in fact, she really didn't. Um, she really did feel light and right about it. So again, no rules. It is always what feels best for you. I will say the more you practice or you lean into it, generally the easier it is to come back into it. It doesn't take as long for the clearing. It doesn't take as long for that space where you need to move for the listening. And so, but if the day is saturated with ego and you're not feeling well, you have a lot of tough decisions to make, maybe that's not a good time for you today. And that's okay. It's okay. You don't have to do anything. Um, and sometimes it feels okay to just say, you know what, I'm just going to sit for a minute. I don't feel like I can really move it with deep listening or guidance, but I feel like I can just check in real quick. And that actually is my word that I use in my space, in my humanness. And some people say, "Cheryl, I tried to do that and I fell asleep." And I say, "Great, you got there." Again, we're exhausted, right? Life is exhausting. And so, okay, you fell asleep. Sometimes that's part of my meditation. Sometimes I truly choose to lay down for, maybe I'll even set my alarm for 10 minutes, and I just close my eyes. Maybe I might fall asleep, but I've kind of, I think I've kind of trained myself to rest and sleep and receive at the same time. So for me, that works. But early on, I would say, I am just exhausted. Okay. I am a napper, so I can nap for like 5 or 10 minutes and come back refreshed. So I would say, okay, I'm going to just lay down for 10 minutes and then I'm going to open to receive. So again, you move in any given day, in any space, in any time that you choose. Um, and a big piece of when I say when is no interruptions. No interruptions in your time. And that leads me into the same guidance in the place where, the final W. And so where can you meditate? Again, any place you will not be interrupted. Could be a bathroom, a bedroom, a tub, attic. It could be your car. It could be a walk. Know wherever it speaks to you that you will not be interrupted with earthlings, with earth, with time constrictions. It's sometimes I do a quick meditation when I'm in yoga, right? Shavasana. I think I said that right. If I didn't, I apologize. But sometimes that's a quick meditation, right? Just clearing the earth's chatter and what comes in. Sometimes nothing, and that's beautiful. Again, empty house. Sometimes setting intentions, right? Everyone is going out for errands or to school, and um, at 1 p.m. on Tuesday, I'm going to have my own time. Okay. Maybe you got a lot of cleaning to do. Maybe you have a lot of errands to do and you can't get there. Okay. But how about if you say, you know what? I'm going to get that time for myself. I'm going to choose that time for me. That empty house, I know there won't be interruptions. Take the phone off the hook, shut your phone off, put it on mute, lock the door. And certainly it's not to, but it's just intent to say, nope, this is my time. This is my time. I actually even sometimes meditate if I'm in that space, not every time, but I have a pool, so it's sometimes floating. It's just feel that warmth and just that space. Not always, but sometimes I'll say, you know what, I'm going to take a couple minutes, or it's just impromptu. It just kind of occurs. Like, you know what, I'm feeling this is a good time to kind of check in. That's my word when I want to meditate and receive. And so early on, when I just began meditating, and I'll share this with you, you'll see the more you meditate, and maybe you already see this. It changes. It changes from day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year. When I first was moving into my enlightenment and moving into my mediumship much deeper, I would set times, and I would tell my husband, and I would use these words, I'm checking in. And he knew what that meant. That meant, do not disturb me. I would shut my bedroom was my place, and I had this place I would sit, and I loved the dark, and so the darkness was very important to me. And I would hold tools. I would hold some stones that spoke to me. I don't know what any stone means in trueness. It really is just the intent of the love of the color or the meaning behind the stone that I felt, and I would just sit in my space, and I would call that checking in. I generally wouldn't give him a time, but sometimes I would, and I felt when that door shut, when I really heard that click door shut, that nothing was going to bother me for the amount of time that I chose that. And that really is the pieces of meditation that kind of surround and maybe demystify or explain it from my perspective on what meditation is. I know some people sit cross-legged and thumbs and four fingers touching in circles, and you must wear light clothing. And okay, does that speak to you? Because if it speaks to you, beautiful. Um, I don't like rules. I understand I have rules in my humanness that I accept, right? I don't go through red lights. I understand the rules of life. But other than that, I'm very much an owner of my free will. And vice versa. I will not issue judgment on you as well. So I send that to you. What feels light and right today? Just right now, as we move into just a 5-minute meditation. I'm going to move into it with you as well. I am completely at home, alone with space. I got my Lucy Boosie, but she's beautiful with my energy. And I'm going to move into this meditation with you as well. And I don't go with expectations. I'm not going in to answer or ask anything. I am just going in there to experience as you are. And so when you're doing meditation, and what I used to do early on, because I needed my busy brain, I would use headphones or earpods, and I would put some fluted music. For whatever reason, fluted music was really resonated with me. And that would be my space to kind of go there. And then I've built so many different places. I built a place where I would meet my guides. So that might be a meditation that maybe we move into in another time. But today is just a relaxation. It is just space to open to meditation. And so I want you to just snuggle in your chair or your bed or wherever you are right now. Find that space. Get comfortable. Put a blanket on. Take a blanket off. Put your head down. and just open and clear that earth's chatter. Breathing in, in. Don't think, feel. Just bring in positivity. Breathe out any negativity you feel. Start with the top of your head. Feel that relaxing wave just moving down ever so slowly with rhythm that speaks to you, moving down your shoulders and your arms, your finger, and just sit with that space. Sit with that space of just leaving. I'm going to join you. I'm going to call you back. with your fingers and your toes. There you are. Remember, you can come back anytime you choose. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Welcome back. So I will say with my journey, it was interesting because when I opened to the meditation, the guided meditation, and sometimes I guide it for longer, and sometimes I guide it shortly. I did choose to guide it shortly at the onset because I wanted you to experience what you were going to experience. But it was interesting because I talked about a wave because that's how I felt in that meditation. However quick, I could feel it resonating in my body. It was almost like a hum of frequency, and I could truly feel it, that music just kind of resonating into my body. And that would be, I am well versed, but it is a clear sentience. It is the feeling. It is the body feeling. And I don't know if you did, but there was some human thought that came in about my day type of thing. And I said, and I could feel the numbing of that sensation. And so when I said, no, I'm going to move that human thought away. I'm going to move back to my space of light, my space of meditation. It came back and it resonated. So when those thoughts of life kind of flow in, um, they flow in often with me. I just welcome them back out the door. And I know I can get back to where I was. And you as well can get back to where you were. And always know that you can go into that peace. And whatever experience you had, trust that. And follow up. Did that feel light? Did I feel, maybe you felt a spirit around you. Maybe you felt a loved one. Maybe they're reaching out to you, earmarking an important date that's approaching, that they wanted to come and say hi or let you know that they're good. That is how we are open to receive. And it's a beautiful place to reside. And you can go there anytime you choose. Anytime. There's no magic formula or strict guidelines to follow. Meditation is yours to embrace in whatever way it speaks to you. Remember, there are no rules. Meditation holds a beautiful and refreshing space of comfort and peace, ready for you when you are open to receive it. If you feel pressured to meditate due to expectations, it can start to feel like work, and that will only be counterproductive. On days when life feels heavy, it's perfectly okay to simply sit in the warmth and quiet of light, as I often do, or even skip meditation altogether. The key to fostering connections during meditation is releasing all rules and expectations. Simply accept and trust what comes. When you can quiet the noise of the world, those connections become natural and effortless, allowing you to simply receive. Spirit's intelligence is profound, and the way messages and guidance are delivered during these moments of stillness is equally remarkable. Trust what you receive during meditation and don't dismiss it. Spirit doesn't waste a thought. Patience may sometimes be required to fully understand their message. And if clarity is needed, ask for more. Spirit is endlessly abundant, never withholding what you need to move forward in this journey. Trust your light. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for allowing me to accompany you on your journey today. There's so much for us to explore and learn together. If there's a light-filled topic you're curious about, or if you just want to reach out, I'd love to connect. Follow me on social media at Cheryl Bradley Medium, or visit CherylBradley.com to explore my offerings and events. I hope today's episode has filled you with the light to carry with you until we meet again. And let the title of this podcast stay with you today and every day. If it's light, it's right. Blessings on your journey.